You don't really think about the amount of growth that you go through until you've gone through it. And so I think that's something we can meditate on right now. Just close your eyes, right? Let's close our eyes. Let's think about where we've been the last 6 months. Like the last 6 months, what have I done? What have I been through? And even the things that you don't love, even the things that you might hate, even the things that you regret. Let's breathe it in, the memories, and breathe it out. The regret, the shame. It's over. It's over with. The things that you've done wrong, for instance, they are done. And you can forgive yourself for those things. And then the things that you did well, take a moment and enjoy that you did it well. That's the reality. There's only these two things, something that you regret or something that you are proud of. I think those are really the two realities. And so if you know what you've done wrong, that's good, because then you can grow from that. And if you've seen what you've done right, that's good, because you did well and you can grow with that. The things that we're so stuck in time as human beings. The only thing we have is the present, and sometimes we rely on the past, and sometimes we hope for the future, when in reality is the present is what we have right now. And so let's give our energy to the present. Okay, cutting off there, going to a different thought. I often do not believe in the ability of the energy that is inside of me. And by that I mean I don't believe that I have enough energy to do things. And so I'll like wake up in the morning and go right back to sleep because I'm like, oh, I'm tired. I'm not going to have energy for the day. In reality, the energy that you get comes from curiosity, for one. So that's something that you can grow, right? And then the energy that you get also comes from just living a healthy life, meaning drinking water, eating 2 or 3 meals a day with protein, carbs, natural sugars. These things that I'm learning as a young adult are very important to be aware of and to take care of. You need to treat yourself like someone you're responsible for. And this requires a lot of grace. It requires a lot of love. It requires a lot of forgiveness. Here's the thing, if you're a father and your kid does something wrong, you could yell at them, but are they going to change because you yell at them? Or are they going to change if you tell them kindly, hey, this is what you did wrong, and this is what I want you to do, and this is what I see in you, this is who I see you can become. Different parenting techniques could work on different kids, but for yourself, you know what works for you. For me, if someone comes at me and they're like, you did this horribly, and they're like, they have attitude, I'm going to hate that person. I'm not going to want to be with that person. I'm not going to want to see that person. On the other hand, if I ask someone, hey, what do you not like about me? Just tell me. But I'm coming with that, and then they tell me, no matter how they say it, I'm like, yeah, okay, valid. I can change that. Why? Because I came to you and asked you, and you answered, and thank you for answering. And so it's like, okay, as an individual, let me sit with myself and ask myself, what do I not like about myself? And what do I want to change? And with this purity of heart, and this is so crucial, because if you're coming in it with like, oh, I have to change or else I'm going to die or I'm going to regret life, it's like, that's too deep. Chill out, relax, please, because like I said, we're so constrained by time as human beings, but in reality, God is boundless and there's no need to rush. You're just gonna waste energy. If you have a goal, it is good to determine what steps practically, physically, you can do to move towards that goal, right? So if you want to be a writer, how about you give yourself 10 minutes a day to just write. Just straight write. Don't overthink. 10 minutes a day. You do that every day for a week. Super simple, super light. You're not writing a novel, because you don't have to write a novel. No one's asking you to write a novel. You're not even asking yourself to write a novel. No one wants to read your novel. You haven't even written a poem. So write for 10 minutes a day, because if you start and, like, if you, for instance, me, I would love to make a feature film, right? Would I, though? Because I haven't even made a short film. Okay, so what is my goal then? Okay, let me make a short film by myself. Let me write it, let me shoot it, and let me be every aspect of it. Super low budget. And put that out into the world. And then I can see, okay, what did I like about this? Which are my favorite parts? Do I like directing? Do I like acting? Do I like writing? Which part? And then you can go from there. But genuinely, and I mean this so sincerely, please listen to me. And I'm speaking from bare experience. But I know I'm gonna get so much better at this. And here's the thing, like I said, I know, because that's putting faith in what I'm saying. Because I'm at this point, I'm 25, and I could be like, oh, I've never done it, and I don't do it, and I never get around to it. And I've told myself for years I've wanted to be a filmmaker, and I've never made a film. And that's true. But guess what? If I keep talking like that, it's never going to happen. But if I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to do it eventually. It's like you're giving yourself the great mindset, and then the days that go by, you're going to build that mindset as a habit, as a hedge, as a wall full of rock. It's going to build into a castle, and then one day you're going to have a film in front of you because you've had these days of telling yourself, I'm going to do this. As you're building it, like I just said, you can see what part of it you enjoy. You can even see if you enjoy it at all. But you won't know unless you do the work. And it's not going to be a waste of time. That's another mindset shift that needs to take place in your life, in my life. Putting work in, even if it's towards something that you realize in the end or in a year is not for you, it's not a waste of time because you've grown. Because if you put your present mind and your curiosity into this thing, regardless of if you were destined for it and it's your purpose, you will still learn something, and that will be beneficial. You will build relationships in that. You will get to know yourself on a deeper level. And you have to trust that. You have to trust that in yourself, in God, in others, the things that I see people all the time. I tell them, you should do this. I can see this in you. But if they don't see it in themselves, if I don't see it in myself, then it does not matter. I'm responsible for myself and my steps and my movements. Likewise are you for your own life. And take those steps, because even if it's not something made for you, this is so big. Even if it's not made for you, even if you don't do it, you only do it for 6 months and you realize it's not for you, praise the Lord, because you tried. And you can know for a fact, and it's not even the fact that it's not for you. It's not even that. It's not even the idea that, oh, okay, yeah, I got that, so I know that's not for me, and I'm moving forward. It's the fact that you did it. It's not the fact that it's not for you and you realize that. That who gives it? It does not matter. What matters is that you did it, and you improved some part of your life because you did that. You got better at communicating. Maybe you got better at dealing with difficult people. Maybe you got better at scheduling. Maybe you got better at waking up early because it was an early training program that you had to go to before work. It doesn't matter what it is, but you're improving. And that's all that you can ask for. Like, I think one of the reasons we live is to become godlike, to become closer to God in all aspects of life. And here's the last thought, right? Like, my favorite soccer team is Arsenal, and we just spanked Manchester City 5-1. They've never lost to a top 60. Pep Guardiola, the best coach in probably the history of football, has not lost that bad since 2007. That's like 18 years, something like that. Here's the thing. I had the thought about that game, right? Because Manchester City, you can say they gave they put their best foot forward, but I don't think so. The thought that ran across my mind was, imagine they gave 8 out of 10, an 8 out of 10 performance that day, and they lost 5-1. Imagine you're God, right? or you're yourself and you're responsible for yourself. Imagine the way you live one day is the way that every other day you live will be lived out. And so imagine you give yourself an 8 out of 10 performance one day. And then all of a sudden God's like, that's it. You're going every single day to put in an 8 out of 10, 80%. So 20% you're leaving on the table. And this is not some like alpha, like I'm hyper focused. I'm going to put in 100%. This is not that, right? It's different. And let me get to it. But imagine another person puts in 10 out of 10. And then every single day they put in 10 out of 10. How much better are they getting by putting in that extra 20%? It's not even for you to ask compared to them. It's for you to ask compared to yourself. Because do you want to end your life being like, man, I did have an extra even 10%. Some of us are leaving like 80%. Some of us are leaving 90%. We're barely alive. Like, we're just going through the motions. We're not caring. We're not curious. We're not challenging ourselves. If I had the option, I want to live a 10 out of 10 day every day. And there are days where I do. And those days, they're not complex. They're days where I'm awake at work, fully like healthy, got my water in, and I'm interacting with the customers, and I'm asking them how they're doing, and serving good lattes. I'm focused, I'm cleaning, and then I go home and I learn a new skill, and I pray, and I meditate, and I make a meal for myself. I call my mom, I go to bed. Like, it's not too intense, but I'm just saying, like, every day giving your all, being present, how much of a difference will that make? 10 out of 10 compared to 9 out of 10 as it multiplies. So I'm just saying, like, who do you want to be? And this is, I don't want to like put anxiety or pressure on you. This is really chill. I'm just saying, like, imagine the possibilities if you gave 10 out of 10 every single day. And that's just of your awareness, like, of your focus. It's not like you don't have to run a marathon every day. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're going to run a marathon in 6 months, then every day you run at least 3 miles, which is doable. It's like 15 minutes. Not 50, it's like 20, 25 minutes, but it's a light jog. Like, you just get it done. It's not going to be the end of the world. Yeah. Those are my thoughts.